And as I mentioned before the meeting started to the people in the audience, I apologize if there are some cobwebs. We kind of brush off the dust off of everything and get everything going again. We are in the high school auditorium to give everyone, ample space for social distancing as needed. And I'm just going to make a note, when it does come to citizens' comments, I have a phone number that if someone in the audience, someone at home rather, wants to call in, I'll announce that number, and we'll kind of do it like a radio talk show. The meeting is being live streamed on the district website to anyone who didn't have the ability to attend, so everyone has the option to look at it that way, as well as the people who are here in the audience today. So, having said that, I'll officially call our meeting to order, and I'll ask if everyone could please rise. Do we have a flag? Oops, see, these are the cobwebs, folks, sorry. We need a flag. One moment, and we will rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. There's one around here somewhere. All right, ready? Watch this. Of course, now I lose internet. All right, we will salute the flag, though I don't see one here. Sorry, folks. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, folks. And again, sorry, it's a lot of cobwebs. And next, if I could have one of the clerks please call our roll. Here.
Here.
And do we have a student representative? No. Okay. Thank you very much. Next, if you could please call the calendar. And Mrs. Beisel, could I ask you to turn that microphone on? Because the people at home won't be able to hear you if you don't. You sort of push the button in the front. There you go. Now, if you could speak towards that.
Okay, for the calendar, Tuesday, May 25th, 2021, and Tuesday, June 8th are our next two school committee business meetings.
Thank you very much. And then if you push it again, the light will turn off and then it won't pick up back. Perfect. Thank you. Dr. Ajay, any presentations and recognitions?
Recognitions. Let Dr. Mansouri go first.
Okay, I have a few recognitions. From the Rhode Island Healthy Schools Coalition, the May 2021 e-news, NK schools are in school wellness spotlight. Fishing Cove, Quiz, Stony Lane, and Davisville Academy had a colorful hopscotch template painted on their grounds in the 5210 messaging. 5 or more servings of fruits and veggies, 2 hours or less recreational screen time, 1 hour or more physical activity, and 0 sugary drinks. Thank you very much for that. From the high school, the Rhode Island General Treasurer's Young Leaders Award. This year, Penelope Tejada, a junior at North Kingstown High School, a member of the school's Leadership Academy, Business and Finance Academy, and an officer in NK's DECA, Distributive Education Clubs of America chapter, has been selected to represent North Kingstown. The ceremony to recognize Penelope will be held in May, where she'll be recognized by Seth Magaziner, Rhode Island General Treasurer. This is a prestigious award, and please join us in congratulating Penelope. And then finally, we would like to announce and recognize Cindy Bowe from the NK Office of Family Learning and Kathy Yeager from the SK and NK Coalition, who are working with Matt Callahan, the North Kingstown Town Solicitor, on posting mental health signs throughout the town of North Kingstown. They are wooden signs. You might have noticed a few. If you hover your phone over the QR code on the sign, you can see the various resources provided for mental health. The local housing units at Kingston Crossings have posted 10 signs around the property and have been receiving very positive feedback from their residents. And just this past week, Kathy sent an update. In the month of April, North Kingstown had 189 scans for information from stress reduction to local resources. So we want to thank them all. Dr. Ajay?
Sure. I don't believe we mentioned this last time, but it's definitely worth mentioning. Congratulations to our state champion girls volleyball team for multiple state championships. Coach Brian Garapi, also Cracker Jack teacher at Forest Park. Congratulations to him on yet another state championship. And just for people to be aware of, if you go to our district website, you can see dates for Jekyll and Hyde, which is going to be a streamed musical this year, but it will have some live performances in this auditorium, socially distanced properly, of course. But, you know, a heck of a lot of creativity went into this, a great deal of work, and if there's anyone who can put together something that I'm sure is going to be incredible, it is Norma Kayaza and the students of North Kingstown who really wanted this experience very badly. So I'm really happy that that's happening. And that's what we have for tonight.
Thank you very much. So next item will be the superintendent's report with the year-end update.
Citizens' comments.
Citizens' comments. I'm jumping ahead, Jeeper, sorry. Like I said, we're getting back into the swing of things. So citizens' comments. So first of all, I'll ask if anyone in the audience would like to come to citizens' comments. Is it that microphone there, right? Oh, that one, okay. Anyone like to speak? Yep, you can come up. The microphone would be right there. And if you could please speak your name and address for the record. And as usual, we ask if you could please limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Hi, my name is Kim Lanaway.
Sorry, is it, can you tap the mic, see if it's working? Okay, yep, so good. Yeah, tilt it down, it should be better.
My name is Kim Lanaway.
That's good, thank you.
I live at 47 Sylvan Court. The purpose of my comments tonight is to call attention to a gross double standard being sanctioned by this school and school committee with respect to entrance to the senior week events. Rhode Island Department of Health K-12 spring event playbook does not require COVID testing as a prerequisite to attend school-sponsored events, but this school intends on imposing a requirement on students based on vaccination status. This plan is outright discriminatory. Vaccination status is private medical information, and sharing it should not be a requirement for attendance anywhere. Who are the kids showing their papers to? Will vaccinated kids use the front entrance and unvaccinated kids enter through the back? We know from Dr. Chan at the Rhode Island Department of Health, vaccinated people can and still do spread COVID-19. If vaccinated kids can spread COVID-19, why are those students not required to test? North Kingstown just quarantined the girls lacrosse team because of a positive test of a partially vaccinated student. All of our students have given up an entire year of normalcy, their education, activities, and social interactions, despite being at statistically zero risk. We were told it was about keeping people safe. Part-time school, incessant testing with no symptoms was about saving lives. But Mr. Blasberg and Mr. Auger are no longer concerned about keeping everyone safe. Quote, as the restrictions and social distancing rules as they are loosened, no one will be protecting the unvaccinated from the potential risks associated with their own decisions. All of these kids were expected to protect the elderly. They were expected to protect those with underlying conditions. But it does not occur to this body that medical, religious, or philosophical exemptions to the vaccine should be honored and respected, and that those kids are deserving of the same protections against COVID that they have been providing to others without question. This is an incredibly slippery slope that you are heading down. I wonder, will unvaccinated kids be studying from home next year via Zoom? Will papers be required to attend athletic events in the fall? Our students deserve equal protection and one set of rules. Either eliminate the school-imposed testing requirement for senior events or impose it on all students equally. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Rebecca Campbell, and I live on 31 Ferry Road in Saunderstown. Happy to see you all in person, so thank you for making that happen. It's been a long 12 months for all of us. I started this process trying to get everybody back to school with Kim and some other friends here for our seniors. And you know, I think it's become really outrageous where we are now, and I just want to communicate that. Starting with a show of hands, how many of you are fully vaccinated? And secondly, how many of you feel like that's an inappropriate question for me to be asking? Okay? And here we are, expecting that from our seniors in high school.
I got to ask if you could put your mask up for us, please. Thank you. I didn't notice.
No,
I'm sorry.
In order for me to breathe and communicate,
I would have said
you'll
something.
give me
It
those
didn't
20
click.
seconds back, Greg?
Yeah, no,
Okay,
you're
thank
good.
you.
Sorry.
How are we expecting to ask our seniors in high school that question? What would your life look like next year if you have a religious or medical exemption and you are unable to receive the COVID shot? Will you have to Zoom in to be present? Will you have to test before a funeral or a wedding? That's what we're expecting of our seniors. We're expecting our seniors for the most important events of their lifetime at 18 years old to test, again, a test that we don't believe is completely accurate, to be told that they have to go home and to quote Phil, oh, they can just take another test 2 days later, quoted last time at the school committee meeting. Not true. If you test positive, you are quarantined for 10 days. So my senior would be home in bed. Okay? That's a big problem. We all think it's okay, we should be testing. The state does not require testing. Okay? The place where our senior prom does not require testing. But we have to require testing in North Kingstown. Our population, right as of today in the Providence Journal, is 1%. Okay? That is 18 people out of 100,000 people are testing positive. And our seniors are emotionally devastated. My child was quarantined for 10 days, okay, and she's pretty level-headed. And she was an emotional wreck yesterday morning when she woke up and thought she had to test again, which she didn't because the Rhode Island Department of Health allows 10 days. And I had to convince a staff member here at North Kingstown, 2 of them, that that was the guidance. So we're mandating testing, but we're not following protocol. And then she's getting harassed by her coach, did you test? Oh, no, by the way, you don't have to test. So I have to spend an hour of my time communicating to the department here on what they should be doing for protocol. I do not agree that we are testing people for proms, especially if we are testing vaccinated versus unvaccinated. We are creating 2 different classes. If you are okay with that, I'm going to email you as a member of the school committee and ask you your opinion, because you will not get my vote, and every ounce of my energy that I have left, I will fight to not have this seat filled by you, because we are taking 2 classes. We are creating vaccine passports for our students, and they are getting coerced to take a shot that is not approved yet. And we are just going with it, and nobody is speaking up. So I have to call you out. Who is protecting our children? Who is speaking out for our children? 90% of our teachers are vaccinated. Anybody who wants a vaccine can get it. But now we are having clinics here and coercing our children to take a vaccine that isn't even approved yet. 3,000 people, children, have been studied on this vaccine. That's
I have to
it.
ask you to wrap up. We've let you.
Okay, so here we are, coercing our kids to get a shot that we don't know the long-term effects. But let's get it so you can go to the prom. It's wrong. And if we don't start listening to people like me and like Kim that are coming up here with courage, Greg, then that's a problem. So we can talk about schedule. How about the fact that we're coercing people nonstop about taking this vaccine so they can go to the prom? When is it going to end?
Thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to come to the microphone for citizens' comments? Okay. So now I'll ask if there's anyone in the audience who's watching on the live stream and wasn't able to attend today, if you'd like to call in. Now I feel like a talk show host. The number here is area code 401-268-6285. That number again is 401-268-6285 if you'd like to call in. And we'll give it a minute or two just in case. I'm feeling like my talk show isn't going to go very well. Ratings are awful. Yeah, well, I don't want to interrupt in the middle of, have to stop you in the center. Okay. Okay, so I'll read the number one more time. Dr. Auger will have him do his superintendent's report. If the phone rings, we'll put you on hold there. Number is 401-268-6285. And Dr. Auger?
Yeah, I just have a really
your mic's not on.
I have a really brief comment tonight. Just thank you to the emergency management folks in NK who are helping us with our vaccination clinics. We've done the 16 through 18 clinic last Friday. Their second shot is May 28th, and 12 through 15 are now being booked, and we're going to start someone who's 12 to 15 can get a vaccine pretty readily on their own, but if they wish, we will have information out that same clinic will be used for the first shots for those who are 12 to 15, and that will be at North Kingstown High School. We'll already have volunteers there for the second shot for the first group. So things are going really well in that regard, and that's all I have to report for tonight.
Okay, thank you very much. And I have not seen our phone ring, so I'm going to move on to our routine items. So first, I need a motion to seal executive session minutes of tonight, May 11th, 2021.
So moved.
A motion from Ms. Hildebrand, second from Mr. Mather. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. And I can disclose that no votes were taken in this evening's executive session. Do any members have any items they would like to exempt from the consent agenda? Yep, okay. So I'm going to exempt item D4. So I'd ask for a motion to approve the non-exempted consent agenda items, please. I have a motion. Do I have a second? Second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. And sorry, I should have said that's a motion from Ms. Lima, second from Mr. Mather. Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. So item D4, we have a choice. So I think best thing would be if we could first get him. Oh, we need to know what we're approving. So why don't we have you speak to that, and then we'll go from there.
We'll talk about the high-quality math
Your
curriculum.
mic's not on
Discuss
again,
your
sorry.
options.
Need to put the mic on. There you go. That is correct. D as in dog, 4. Sorry. Now I
Okay,
sound
and
like-
before, are you okay? Can I
Yep,
go?
you're good.
Before I begin, I just want to take a moment, I'll put my glasses on, to thank the core team that did, we've had such amazing teachers and administrators working on so many different curriculums that I can't move forward without making sure it's on the record. So Allison Palladino, the principal of Wickford Middle School, Barbara Marr, the principal of Davisville Middle School, they're over there, thank you very much. Erin Bagwell, she's a math curriculum coordinator and 8th grade math teacher at Davisville Middle School. Melissa Brown is a math curriculum coordinator and 7th grade math teacher at Wickford Middle School. Kayla Brimblow, she's 7th and 8th grade math teacher at Wickford. Michaela Shalvoy, she's a 7th grade math teacher at Davisville. Anne-Marie Cody, 6th grade math teacher at Davisville. And Meredith Astrologo, she's our elementary math coach. She helped the middle school on a number of occasions. So that is our team. Again, I've been in front of you often, so I didn't feel the need to have to do another presentation. But same process, about 6 months. And the curriculum, they just met last week, and Envisions is the curriculum that they're looking to move forward with. It's a 1, 3, or a 6 year, and I just would like to talk to you a little bit about the differences. You can see again, if we go with the 6 year, I really feel like we support the teachers and the work that they're going to be having to do. It's about $100,000 difference between the 3 and the 6 year. If you do that, one of the things I'd like you to know, if we can just take a moment, do you have everybody? Okay. If you're out in the audience, this will be attached. If it hasn't been, it'll be attached so that anybody that wants to go in and take a look at this, you can certainly see it. But one of the things is professional learning, and I've said it multiple times, it's researched. If you have a new program, but you don't have the professional learning to go with it, we're not setting the teachers and the students up for success. And so in this particular package, in the 3-year, there's a 5-day coaching cycle, there are 5 different days. But in the 6-year, we have 15 coaching days, and there's about 5 different individualized instructions for the teachers and also even for the administrators, so that when they're going into the classrooms and they're evaluating teachers, it can really be like an inter-rater reliability. It'll be make sure that everybody is looking for the same thing. And then there's one program on here that you see, the online program, the Mathia, and whether or not we took the Carnegie or we took Envisions, we made sure that we got this Mathia because there was some, it goes by the different standards, and the students can practice it such, and it doesn't matter whether or not you get the standard right away, and it takes you 1 or 2 days, or if you need 10 different times of going on, it shows the growth, and that's really what we were looking for, is to make sure we're closing the gaps, we're accelerating the learning. So I feel like the teachers and the administrators, when they were going through this process, made sure that they pointed out different things. They've had a survey, and the majority of the people chose Envisions, and we wanted to make sure we got together consensus that everybody was in agreement that we're all going to be moving together on this. So I just like to say, I know it take a long time, but it's such a long time to get here. It's been 10 years since we've had a scope and sequence, and now the middle school is going to have the rollout for this year, and now we're going to be starting a math. So if you vote on this tonight, next Monday for our PD day, we already have it lined up that there'll be a launch, and they'll be coming in so that teachers can leave the school year, if they so choose, with the materials, and they can plan over the summer, and then they get to have their summer, and they don't have to come in for, they don't have to come in for different PD over the summer, and then we'll be back at it again in September. So I'm very happy with the work that was done, and I really think it's like a clear path. So thank you.
Now it's me. Thank you. So we basically have a decision of, as we had
Oh,
before.
excuse me one
Oh,
second.
yeah.
I'm so sorry. I meant to say this. This is an estimate. There is, we went from different numbers because right now people coming back and forth from DL and coming back in, and our data manager keeps updating. So I talked to Mary King. She said that I told you that it's an estimate, it's not going to be more than like a $25,000. I just want you to know that it's very close to this number, but we definitely need to make sure that I get a diagnostic and a screening so we can benchmark everybody and know where they're growing from.
Okay, so we'd be approving the quote and the expenses, and then there's a per pupil component that's subject to fluctuate, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
okay, all right. So we'd basically be approving the proposal with either a 1, 3, or a 6-year term, with the understanding that there are components of these numbers that are based per pupil and could vary on enrollment. So I think that makes sense. Any discussion? We need a motion to do either the 1, 3, or the 6.
I would recommend the 6th.
Dr. O'Shea, can you turn the mic on over there? Sorry,
I'm
It's
happy
the-
to answer any
it's
questions.
the equivalent of saying, sorry, you're still on mute, Mr. Mather, so.
I motion to do the 6-year.
Okay, we have a motion for the 6 and a second.
You need the motion to say that it's for Envisions to there, right?
So, yeah, let's be specific. So, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I kind of will.
You
So
can
we
put words in my mouth.
need a motion to approve the Envisions mathematics curriculum
Yep.
for a 6-year term based upon the proposal presented. I think that works. So, Mr. Mather, is that your motion?
I make a motion to approve the Envisions Mathematics 6-year term.
And we have a second from Ms. Hoskins. Any discussion or any more questions from Dr. Mansieri?
Thank you for all your
I think your proposal was thorough enough. So we have a motion and a second. If there's no more discussion, I'll call a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Okay, let me just scroll back in my agenda here. Hold on a second. Okay, so we've completed the consent agenda at this point. For unfinished business, we have the 2020-21 school budget. Mrs. King, anything there? 21-22 school budget? CIP existing bond or future bond? Okay. So we have a first read of a policy, which is the school committee policy ACA regarding Title IX. If I could have a motion to approve the first read of item D1.
So moved.
And do I have a, so that's Ms. Hildebrand?
Second.
And a second for Mr. Mather.
I have some questions.
Yep, no, that's fine. Yep, so we got a motion and a second, so now we'll have discussion. So can someone speak briefly as to what,
Mac, you'll need
Yeah.
your microphone.
Attorney Carroll, if you don't mind? And then Ms. Lima, I'll get to your questions after she.
Okay, so this is a Title IX policy, and it's a new policy that we have just adopted, that we're going to be adopting, based on the law that was adopted approximately a year ago. We've held off adopting this policy because we didn't know whether it would be changed with the new administration. It has not yet. We think it's going to take some time before the policy is changed. So for now, according to law, we are required to pass this policy.
Okay, and Ms. Lima, questions?
So I have.
Can you move the mic over, because
Sorry.
I can't hear you, they can't either.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so my first question was, if the Title IX coordinator is the person whom the complaint is alleged against, is there a backup that the complainant can go to?
At this point, we would then have to appoint a backup. Right now, it's new. We haven't seen that issue in any other district. But if the Title IX coordinator is the person who is the person that is the charge is lodged against, then we would have to appoint somebody else.
Okay, I'd like to see that in the policy, just so that the person doesn't not come forward because there is no other person to go to. That's something that I would like to see in that.
So we can add that
Okay.
before the next reading.
And then the other thing was, it says something in there about, sorry, I cannot see tonight for some reason, that the claim will be dismissed if it's determined not to be part of a school activity. So my question was, does that mean if, like a teacher convinces a student to meet outside of school and something improper takes place there, that there's no valid claim?
No, I believe it is a valid claim because it's a teacher due to their relationship with a student.
Okay, even if the conversation
Yes.
and everything takes place outside?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, so I think we can approve the policy with the caveat that we'll insert some language for the second reading, addressing Ms. Lima's concern about the disqualification of the Title IX coordinator. If I could get a motion to approve item D1 with that. I know, but we will modify it a little bit with that. So with unanimous consent, we'll withdraw the first motion, and we will start over with a motion to, I'll make it. I'm going to make a motion, so I'll slow that down for our clerks. So by unanimous consent, we're going to withdraw the first motion. I'm making a new motion to approve policy item D1 with the stipulation that for our second reading, we'll have probably just one sentence that clarifies that in the event the Title IX coordinator is disqualified for some reason, that there will be an alternate appointed. And now I need a second.
Second.
I have a second from Ms. Hildebrand. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. So next, with unanimous consent, I'm going to just table item 5. My Roman numeral skills are low. 6 for this evening. We'll come back to that. Any objection?
No.
Okay. Next, we have the school committee approval of a memorandum of agreement. If I could get a motion to approve item 7.1. I'm sorry. Okay, Ms. Hoskins has the motion, and a second from Ms. Lima. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. And other than that, we have our financial reports, which I like to note are there for any member of the public to look at. It details both the current status of the finances of the school department, as well as the check registers, itemized both numerically and alphabetically for reference, and a disposal notification. Any questions on those reports by any school committee members? If not, we've reached the end of our agenda, and I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have a motion from Ms. Hildebrand, a second Mr. Mather. All those in favor? Aye. We are adjourned.
Greg, are they doing that?